I want to show you this here too. I'm not sure what it's called. I guess this is like a circuit board. It's just very thin. I'm not sure what kind of wires they are. I think usually they're silver. I'm not sure what these are made of. Just very thin metal that complete circuits or whatever, and then you get different things working. Like here's a light bulb that works, and there's two more light bulbs here. Another light bulb here for warning lights whenever there's something wrong, like check engine light, low fuel light, airbag lights, stuff like that. The door's open. I noticed these connections here, where they hook up back into the connections. I noticed that these connectors here are all screwed up. See how they're detaching from this plastic? I'm going to try to glue them back down because that's all I can do. Otherwise, I'll have to get another cluster from another used truck, which I don't want to do. It only matters on the end where the metal's exposed. You don't want to have any glue because you want to make sure you get a good connection when you plug this thing back in. Just going to glue each one of these that's loose. And then very carefully reinstall it to its connector. So if you have the same problem, and you probably will, because if this is happening here, then it's going to be happening on your vehicle as well. And my guess is it's just from the heat over the years. There's some other spots here where I saw it popping up. I just threw some glue on it to help try to keep it from popping off anymore, just to slow down the separation. Here's the little motor that turns the numbers. I found out in this little brass plate here that there was corrosion from the copper, and I think that's what was jamming up the motor and keeping it from turning. See, I put some oil, very small amount of oil inside of there, and then just went like this and spun the motor around. See how it stops sometimes? It's still catching up. Still catching up in there, but you spin this thing around, and then the oil picks up debris, and then you can get it off on something like this cotton swab. I did that a bunch of times. Might have to keep doing it. How to get this little motor out so that you don't have to take the needles off of the gauges, because you don't want to do that, because that'll screw up everything. I've done that before, and it was not fun to get the speedometer correct again. It took a lot of work. First thing you want to do is make sure that the gears are spinning freely and nothing is hung up. So the issue here was definitely the motor. And you try this at your own risk, and remember, don't do anything illegal. Don't try to drop the miles down or something like that and then sell the vehicle as if it has really low mileage when it doesn't. The only reason I'm fixing this is so that I know when to do oil changes. That's it. That's a little disclaimer there. Keep that in mind. Don't use this video to do anything illegal. And whatever you do with this video, you're on your own. I put a little bit of oil in this motor, and I'm pretty sure this is a stepper motor because it has all these wires, and that's good because you don't have to worry about a little brush motor wearing out over time. So at least they got that right. But putting that rubber gear here was very stupid. Had to buy this thing on eBay. I think it was like $8. See, the motor's still hanging up a little bit, which I don't like, but I've done what I could. I don't think I can fix that. I don't even know if this motor works anymore because it was jammed up for a while. It could have burned itself out. Hopefully it still works. We'll see. Because so far online, looking around, I wasn't able to find the actual motor. I have to buy the whole gauge cluster, which is gonna suck. That's like 150 bucks, and I've been spending enough lately on stuff, so I don't want to do that. So there's these two little tabs. There's one right here. The other one's inside right there. I'll point to it with this bit. See it right there? And then on the motor, it's got these little clips. They actually lock onto those. That's what holds the motor in. So I'll show you. Put the motor in like this. See, and then it sits right on top of that gear that it's supposed to turn, that the worm gear turns. So you put it in there. You gotta push it down. Okay, I think I got it. Finally. Okay, it's a little effort, and then you keep going. Now it's where it goes in place. Plug the wire back into the circuit board. Oh, actually it goes this way. See these little tabs? And to get this off, you have to press something in on each side where those little tabs are to be able to get this free. You can see it in there now, the worm gear, and then it turns one gear which turns a bunch of other gears. It's amazing how they made this stuff back then. You know, a lot of math had to go into that. It's like amazing to figure out how exactly, you know, the gear ratios you need and the right speed that the motor spins at, depending on how fast you're driving, to actually calculate miles. You know, the stuff they used to make was really cool. Not like this digital crap we have today. Okay. I got this one set up here, see? This piece here where the connections are messed up, this has to go to that circuit board we were just messing with. And then the circuit board here, it has this little plastic thing. When you put that ribbon cable in there, then you press this down and it holds it in place. This goes up on the top like this. See, like that. You put this thing goes together like this. And then over this is another black piece, and then you put the plastic over it that protects the gauges. So see, you did it like this, and you didn't have to mess with the numbers or anything. This thing's always been screwy. It's hard to get it to go back to 0. Then see up here in the top, you got that circuit board. You have to hook up that ribbon cable. See back here. It connects to the top of that circuit board. Well, not the top of the board, you know what I mean. See right there, it hooks up right there, so I have to try to do that. You have to do it in here. It was very difficult to remove it. Don't know if I'm going to be able to show that on the camera. I got it in. Hopefully you have a solid connection. Now you're gonna press on this tab right here. First, let me make sure this is in a little more. Press down this piece here on the plastic thing I showed you. On the other side as well. Now it should be locked in firmly. And the top of it, there's just some little star screws you got to put back in to hold the circuit board down. And they also have these little rubber looking washers. Don't lose those. When you turn it over, you got to hold it with your hand, and right here in the center you got two of these star screws that you got to put in. So make sure you do that. Now it's hard to turn them. You'll need a screwdriver. If you use a drill, I recommend you don't, but you can if you're very careful and gentle on the trigger. Otherwise you're going to cause damage. You're going to put the gauge cluster back inside where it goes. You got to grab the wires. I'll start with this one that has the most connections first. That goes in the middle. That goes right here. Got to turn the wrong way. Oh, maybe not. Okay. Put this in. Do it very carefully. Because remember, these connections are weak on this board. This one, you can see here there's only connections on this side. I'm gonna need two hands. Just carefully push it down until it clicks. There we go. We got one more to do. You can tell where they go because you can see how it's taped up here as well. Put this one in. We got one more thing to do. Pick this up. You see that? You got your gear selector right there. That has to go back in there as well. I'm not gonna fully install this yet, so I want to make sure that it's working. This thing just slides in here. Just have to get it in there correctly. Okay, like that. There we go. Just push it up. Meantime, when I'm driving, I'm gonna put one screw in. Oh wait, that's the wrong spot. I'm gonna put one screw in just to secure it. I'm gonna secure it over here. One of its little bolts. Of the gear selector, see? It moves. As you can see, did some driving today. And the odometer's working again. See, it counted 40 miles. So there you go. That's how you can fix it.